Welcome to Scentsible. Today we're going to make some reverse applique and we're going to put it on a little bag. This is one that I started many years ago after watching Alex Anderson on a quilt show, and I'm going to make a similar version of this and a little bit smaller for you today. Thanks. This is the basic pattern that we're going to be following. Vinyl or another ripstop type fabric for the outer shell. You will also need some strips for your straps. You will need some strips for the purse sides. So I'm going with about 19 inches by 8.5 inches. You can do whatever you want. And then you're going to have a fabric that goes with it. And this is going to be the inside of your reverse applique. It'll make more sense once I get started. Okay, so I drew on the back of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this so that the vinyls are both facing the same way. And then I'm going to pin it in place, making sure to do it on the edge so I don't mar the vinyl. And now I'm going to go take this over to the machine and I'm going to stitch on the lines. You can see that I stitched it. So is you're actually going to snip a hole in the heart and then you're going to cut it out as close as you can to the stitch without breaking the stitch. And you're just going to make sure that you aren't damaging the undercoat. So you're going to want to use really detailed scissors too. That'll make it easier to get in there. So more or less that's what you have. You've cut out your insides of your heart. And now you're going to flip it over and cut the backing off. Alright, so that took some of the bulk off. So we have this. We cut off the excess. I'm going to make this into a messenger bag right now. So this is going to be my flap. I sewed it so that the edges were all finished. Okay, for my little flap. And then I'm going to flip it inside out. I kind of finger pressed that seam a little bit, and I'm actually going to sew around where the flap is so that it has some kind of stability. Okay, so you can see the edges are finished-ish, and I actually used a contrasting thread that matches the hearts to give it a little pop. So now I'm going to make this into a bag, and basically how the bag works is it's a messenger bag, so it's like a flap like this, and you're going to sew a little panel on either side. Anyway, you'll see. Well, you can see that I kind of just sewed in that. You can see that. So this is the flap, and then this is it kind of just rolled around these rectangles. So I just started here and started sewing, and I ended up having to seam rip some because I didn't do the measurements right. If you follow a pattern, I bet there's a bunch out there that you could follow to get an exact thing. I'm kind of more of a wing it kind of gal. So I'm going to now make a liner that matches this. Alright, so it should look like this. Alright, and then actually before you put the lining in, you should put your straps on. So if you want straps now, you should have done it before you put the lining on. I'm going to put them on afterward because I'm okay with there being stitches on the inside. Alright, here we go. Well, there it is, a reverse applique messenger bag. This was the inspiration, a bag that I started probably a decade ago. It's a little bit more complicated, and I even did some funny stitches on it. I don't know if you can see those. And I even did some glamorous liner with a bunch of pockets on it. I don't ever use this because it's gigantic. So it'll probably end up in the Karma Art Project for Swanton Arts Council. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us today at So Scentsible. And I hope you have a So Scentsible day. You're like, Heather, why don't you go up to your sewing room and get some sharper scissors? No. That would be too easy. Like a good challenge. Come on.